The following is a special television program brought to you with love from Muhammad Ali.
Okay, Michelle, I'll get a fire going. You get everything set up. I want to hear some good singing. I know many of you out there doing like I'm doing, trying to keep warm. It's cold here where I'm at. I don't know where you at or how cold it is where you at, but it's cold here. You know, some people keep warm from fires on the outside, but there's one thing which will keep you warm from the inside, especially when you understand it, and that's love. Some people get this warmth over love for cats, some for people, some for birds. I really love my children, my wife. But as they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, so is love is in the eye of the beholder. Some people might love something, you don't love it, but they do. I might love something you don't love, but I do. So beauty and love is in the eye of the beholder. I have a young man named Michelle, who I predict will be the greatest singer of all times. I met him a few years ago. I've been doing all I can to promote him. I want you to hear him tonight, and he will sing to you, and he will talk about love through his song, and I'm sure you will enjoy it. Mr. Michelle.
We're here. This song is called Love. But after this, I'd like you to tell us something really personal about love. Yeah?
Yes, I love this song, and I want the world to hear it now.
Beautiful. The love in you makes you the same. How you love makes you different. The love you have is a love in everyone. How you express that love is yours alone. The love that's offered is meant for everyone. The love you receive is meant just for you. The love you know is the love I am, and the love you are is the love I'll know. Yep. Da 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 da. La da la da da da. La da da. La da la da da da. La da 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 da. La da da da. La da 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 da. La da. La da da da. La da la da da da. La da 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 da. La da da. La da da da. La da 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 da. La da 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 da. La da. The love in you makes you the same. How you love makes you different. The love you have is the love in everyone. How walks alone. Yeah. The love that's offered is meant for everyone. The love you receive is meant just for you. The love you know is the love I am, and the love you are is the love I will know. Ah, yeah, the love you know is the love I am, and the love you are is the love I will know.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. I'm so glad people had a chance to hear for themselves.
Well, listen, thank you for making it possible. That's beautiful. What I'd really like to hear is about the first time you fell in love. I'm sure everybody would like to hear that.
Let me tell you, Michelle, I'm sure we all have our experiences. But this little beautiful girl, I was 16 years old in Louisville, Kentucky. Her name was Wendell Smith. She's married now. I met her a few months ago and we laughed about it. I went by her house one night. She invited me over. I asked her when I was in about the 5th, 6th grade, could I come over? And she let me come over. And we were sitting on the front porch one night, and we were just talking. I can't remember what I was talking about, but it's nothing like the jive I talk now. I was a square then. And I'm probably asking, what did she get for Christmas, or what did you have for dinner today? You know, square talk, like a 16-year-old kid would. Real shy. She was about 16, a little more mature than me at the time. Girls are more mature than men. Anyway, that night we sat there about 2 in the morning. Little small white house, little swing on the front porch. And on the way home at night, I said goodbye, I shook her hand. She says, and at the time my name was Cassius, she said, kiss me, Cash. And I scared me to death, because you see people in the movies all the time. And I didn't know about kissing. So I kissed on lips, and she kind of squeezed me and kissed me. And do you know when I let loose, I fainted, I fell right back, boom, right to the floor. She hollered and screamed, my daddy, mother, and I. She said, what happened? She said, well, I just kissed him and he fainted. Anyway, and daddy pat me on the face and came to, said, Cassius, what's wrong? I said, nothing, I was so shy. I just jumped up and ran all the way home. About 2 miles, ran all the way home. First time being kissed by a girl. And I was in love from then on. Never did see again because I was so wrapped up in boxing, I couldn't really follow up with the kiss. I was wrapped up in boxing, but I know how you feel. Some people, like you say, love many things. Certain things happen to them. That's my first kiss, and I fainted. That's my first knockout.
That's incredible. That's really incredible. I keep thinking, the reason I first came to see you was because you're always saying how people should be more helpful to each other, should love each other. How do you feel about, just in the world, if you could say something about love to the world, because a lot of people watching this.
I would say that love is sacrifice. Love is service. Love shows itself in regard for the pleasures and displeasures of the beloved. And we can see that love in all walks of life, love one's country, love one's race, love for humanity. It can even extend to love for every little creature of the smallest insect that lives. And if we study the quality of the heart quality is a loving quality. It becomes a loving manner, the manner of God himself, and all such attributes as tolerance, kindness, love, mercy, compassion spring from the heart. Take the great teachers and the great prophets of God. They did not become what they were by their miracles or the wonder workings. What was most apparent in them was the loving manner. Read the lives of prophets. Look at the way Jesus Christ treated all of those who came to him. When the great sinners who were condemned and expelled from society, when they were brought to Jesus the Master, he raised them up with his compassion. Jesus was on the side of the guilty wrongdoers. The people close to Christ never could understand him, nor could the most educated people understand him, yet Jesus lived with them and won their hearts in the end. This is by the loving manner. So what we all must learn to do in the world today, all countries, is to learn to cultivate the loving heart quality, because there's only one thing that can cultivate the loving heart quality. That is become more and more selfless, now selfish but selfless. What prevents man from the loving manner is the thought of itself. And the more we think of others, the less we think of ourselves. The more we think of, the less we think of others, I mean to say, the more we think of ourselves. So love is a big thing. Many people don't really understand it. They think because they're in love with a person sexually or physically, that's love. But a person who truly loves a person considers his life cheap. Get it now? A person who truly loves another person, he considers his life cheap for that person. If a person's going to shoot you with a gun, for example, without thought, they would jump in front of a bullet and die. That's real love. That's ultimate love. Now Michelle has a nice song that he was like to sing. I love this song also, and explains why we don't have to be rich to be happy. You know, many people confuse pleasure with happiness, but pleasure is only an illusion, a shadow of happiness. And through this delusion, many people pass the whole life seeking after pleasure, but never truly find happiness. But the man who is truly happy and really happy, he's happy everywhere and anywhere. He's happy in riches and poverty, in a cottage or in a castle, for he has discovered the fountain of true happiness, which is knowledge of the purpose of his life. And as long as a person has never found that purpose, he will never be happy. Many people confuse happiness with pleasure, as I said. Some people, if you ask them why they're unhappy, they'll probably say they're unhappy because they can't reach the power, the property, possession, or rank which they've worked for years. Some unhappy because those whom they love don't love them. Some unhappy because they're trying to reach a certain position in life, they can't make it. But as I said, he who is truly happy is happy everywhere and anywhere. And Michelle's next song tells you about it don't take money to be happy.
We'll be taking you to a concert we did last week, so people can hear that number.
Right.
I hope they enjoy it.
Well, you tell me if I try that I can make it to heaven, yeah. I tell them it's inside me and I'm already there. Well, I say there's somewhere else and then I have to climb there. I don't know the feeling in my heart and I don't really care. You don't have to be rich to be happy. You don't have to be poor
I remember the first time I played that song for you. I'd gone about 3,000 miles on a bus.
Yes, it's real strange. I picked up the phone one night, and you says, "Hello, Muhammad. This is Michelle." I said, "Michelle, I have a song you got here. I'm going to be a great singer one day." And I kept trying to throw you off and leave me alone. I'm busy. I'm making a movie, Freedom Road. And you kept calling back. So finally I said, "It's okay, just to get just pass off of me." I said, "Come on." You came all the way on the bus.
Yeah, well, I told you I was as determined as you are. You said I must be crazy, right?
Yeah, yep. And then you played that song. What's the name of the song?
You don't have to be rich to be happy.
Don't have to be rich to be happy. And man, when you played that song, I said, "Look what I've discovered here. I have me a star." And from that day on, I said, "I'm going to work with you until you make it. And I'm glad to see you on this show." But that song was beautiful.
Tell you something, I really didn't have a penny in my pocket when I played that for you. I had just spent the very last, and I'll tell you, it was one of the happiest days of my life.
And you was happy. And
oh well, I mean, you were stamping on the table saying that's great.
That fact was a good example that you don't have to be rich to be happy, because you came all the way on the bus. You were hungry, eating cheese and crackers. You had no money in your pocket, and you didn't know if I would like you or not. But you was happy just in the mere fact of being before the greatest, in the presence of the greatest. You were so happy playing that song, and you were dead broke. So that's living proof that you don't have to be rich to be happy, because you were happy. And I think you're still happy today, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm even more happy today. So you've been such an inspiration to me all these years. Because, you know, you always seem to come out of it. You know, like you're on the bottom and you make your way back up to the top.
I'm not going to be happy after you get on top and you forget about me.
Listen, how could I do that?
Listen, if you ever get like the Beatles or Chuck Berry or some great singer, don't you forget me if I call you up and say, "This is Muhammad Ali, do you remember me?" Remember, many people, they get intoxicated with wealth, so much so that they forget and look down on people who helped them. So don't you get intoxicated when you're making it. You still happy now, you stay happy when you get rich.
Listen, I'm going to do my best.
All right. Yes, Michelle, you know the next song is my favorite song, "Child in the Wilderness." And that can be a great thing if you understand it. A lot of the meaning can be behind that, child in the wilderness. When you're in the wilderness, you're alone. You may be afraid of the wild animals, or a child will be frightened. He's not with his loved ones, his protection. He might feel like giving up or losing hope. And this is the way people become in life. When I came up, the reason I'm where I'm at today, I never like to say I cannot. Once we say I cannot, we have made a suggestion to ourselves. We have weakened our power of accomplishing that which otherwise could have been accomplished. For one, to admit to yourself, I have no force, I have no thought, I have no intelligence, only means working against themselves. Sometimes people who are disappointed with the world will say, "My heart has grown cold." But it's actually they who suggest to themselves that the heart has grown cold. Others may say, "I can no longer love," but what they don't realize is we come from love. God created us out of the very idea and thought of love. Then how can we say we can no longer love? All these are suggestions which undesirable and foolish work against our lives. Then there are people who imagine that nobody likes them. They imagine that everybody's jealous of them. They imagine that everybody's against them. Nobody may be jealous, nobody may be against them, but naturally, when such a thought reflects in the minds, it shows on the faces, and it creates in others a tendency to hate and dislike such people. So we should always remember that man is not created by God as wood is carved by the carpenter. For the carpenter is different from the wood. For man is made out of the self of God. All that is in God is in man. All the powers and qualities that we need are attainable if we do not deny the existence within ourselves. But when we deny that they exist in us, then naturally life will deprive us of the gift which is own. How can a man be loved when he carries in his heart the thought that everybody who sees him avoids him, hates him? How can a man be successful when he thinks that everything he touches goes wrong? Nobody is his own enemy except himself. And this Child in the Wilderness, this song, it explains a lot of this, and this is what I want the people to hear right now. It's my favorite.
Child of the wilderness she was, talking to me of freedom's dances and what she could see. The sky above her and the stars would show things that philosophers had wanted to know, though she never read a book. She knew them all. While she was so near to you, you were so far away. She told me to tell you, you need not feel alone. With the sky as your friend and the earth as your home. She told me to tell you of the love she had found beyond the horizons that haven't got any bounds. Child of the wilderness, pick the wild fruits with care. At her desert's table she would sit and eat them there, and her clear blue eyes would often be found to stare at the round marble stones that she held in her hand, and wisdom is hers. Told me to tell you, you need not feel sad. It's all a small portion of the love to be had, and all of your troubles she held neatly in her hand, and there were no larger than one grain of the sand. Child of the wilderness, though now she is gone, her love remains in each and every setting sun, and the small traces of her little hands can still be seen in the folds of her sand. She told me to tell you not to marvel at decay, to learn from the children and watch how they play. She said she had courage, but now she found a way she could smile.
You will be one of the greatest of all time. That's my prediction.
We've got a sequence coming up that is about telling people that you love them.
Well, a person that really expresses love or that does somebody a favor, they look for nothing in return. And I'm sure Jesus, Moses, Lot, Noah, Abraham, God's prophets, what they did was not for return, nor did they know they'd be written on the pages of history. They did it because it was from the heart. And a person who truly gives love or whatever, you'll never know. You see a person tip a waitress $1 for a cup of coffee, and the waitress is not there when it's time to leave. He has a tendency to wait so she can see and say thank you. A person holds or has a bag full of groceries, and they let another person walk by. That person walks through the door and don't say thank you. They say, wasn't she rude? She didn't appreciate it. Even if you do something, you look for a word of thanks in return. It's not from the heart. So as far as love is concerned, when a person loves another person or want to do something good for another person, they don't wait around for thanks, or you'll never know it. Like, for example, I've done people favors, I did people favors, but it's not for newspapers, it's not for press, because it's from my heart. So a person really loves another person, they're not looking for love back in return. But most people, nowadays, when you think of love or friendship, the first thing that comes to the mind is, what shall I gain? What shall I profit by this relationship? Can his or her influence be of some help to me? Whenever a thought of self-interest creeps in, that means the destruction of love, the destruction of friendship. Every little thought of profiting man means destruction. It will only develop into a business relationship and will prosper as long as the business prospers, and then will vanish. Such a relationship can never be called love or friendship. Friendship and true love is built on a solid foundation, a foundation where there's always a desire to give, to be ready, helpful to serve, no thought of taking. A true friend holds his life cheap for his friend. So talking about love, and I'll never tell nobody how much I love them. They'll feel it and see it. See, the best things are given in silence. God's prophets, they gave what can be given without words is be given without words. In your presence, in your eyesight, in your glance, in your kind love that gushes from your heart, and showing you that the best things come in silence. So expressing love to the person, or them expressing to me, you can't do it in words. See, there are various types of loves. Now, if my wife tells me she loves me, she don't have to tell me. Let me see, I've been married 3 years, and my wife has never said yet, I love you. She said every day. She don't have to say it in words. She's in her presence, in her glance, in the atmosphere, in the way she reacts to things that I want her to do. She don't have to say I love you. And I never said, I've said a couple times I love you, but it wasn't that romantic thing. Oh, darling, I love you. You see, that's Hollywood stuff. But people can tell when you love them. You don't have to, it's something you can feel. You can't explain it with words. It's an automatic action. Love is an innocent, unconscious outgoing, a pure feeling with depth. So therefore, no one can understand why one person loves another, nor why one is a friend of another. Well, I had a friend named Billy said to his another friend, he said, Billy, why are you so devoted to Mary? She's not attractive, she's not beautiful, what do you see in her? Billy said, to see Mary, you must borrow my eyes. So when you judge people, or if you judge if one loves another or not, you have to see through their eyes. This is something you can't do. Now that's heavy.
1, 2, 3, 4. You know I love to hear it. You know I love to hear it. You know I love to hear it every day. If you want to say that you love me, don't be afraid, 'cause you know I love to hear you say, yeah, yeah. If you want to say that you need me, so you know I love to hear it. You know I love to hear it. You know I love to hear it every day. If you feel like you wanna call me, don't be afraid, 'cause you know I love to hold you too. Yeah, yeah. If there's something sweet that you
everything in life worthwhile, we are tested, we are examined, and we're tried. God's prophets were tested. Abraham was tested, told to kill his son. If you love me, God said. Abraham was getting ready to stab his son, and God stopped him and said, I was just testing you. And me, before I won my title, I had to be tested. I was tested with the draft. I was asked to do something against my religion. I was tested. It looked clouded, but when the clouds go, the sun comes. Many astronauts, before going to space, they have to be tested on the ground. Michelle had to be tested before he got to this show. I took him places. I let him sing in clubs. I took him in airports and we sung. And I took him here and I took him there and spent a little money. I took him to England with me. He's been tested. He never gave up. He's still here. And all of you out there are going to have trials and tribulations. You're going to have bad luck. Loved ones are going to die. But God is testing you to see if you're qualified for what he's going to give you. How can we go to heaven, for example, and live in pearl and diamond mansions and pearly gates or whatever heaven is? How can we go there if we don't be tested? Why should we just go there easy? So all through life we're going to have tests and trials. And this next song talks a lot about that.
Take my mind back to the trees. Take my mind back to the flowers. Spend my time on a mattress and some leaves and watch the wind blow away the hours. I got no house full of troubles and cares, living outside in the open air. My only wish is that it don't rain while I'm waiting in the station for the buggy train, yeah. Waiting in the station for the buggy train. Waiting in the station for the buggy train. Waiting in the station, and I hope it don't rain. No. Make my bed and lay my head under a starry sky, making love in my dreams, getting ready to fly. I got my peace of mind and I wake up with the sun, super dream incarnation on the golden run, yeah. Waiting in the station for the buggy train. Waiting in the station for the buggy train. Waiting in the station, and I hope it don't rain. Station for the buggy train. Waiting in the station for the buggy train. Waiting in the station, and I hope it don't rain. 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 Nah, nah, nah. Hope it don't rain. Nah, nah, nah.
last part of that song is about little children. And the next one that we did in a concert the other day is about, no, actually I'm going to do that here actually now, about little children. And I'm sure you can tell us something interesting and nice about little children, because I've met some of your little children.
Well, I'll
and your
tell you
family.
about children. Children's, infants or youth, the smaller they are, the cuter they are. Because an infant to me is an exile from heaven.
That's
An
beautiful.
exile from heaven. They have no feeling of greed, no sexism on their mind, no prejudice, no racism, no looking for profit for money. This is why when a baby first comes to the earth, his first expression is a cry, because it feels strange in this dense, cold, sinful world. Only as the child gets older, he learns to steal or he learns to be deceitful. But an infant is exiled from heaven. His mind is completely negative, and the first impression that falls on it takes root. That's why wise people are very careful that the babies are not before bad experiences or bad people, because the infant can pick it up. So children, I would say, are exiles from heaven.
That's beautiful. You were really influenced by some little children playing. And little children really play an important part in your life, because I always hear, you talking about little children, and I've read about you talking about little children. What would be your message for little children?
My message would be mainly for the parents. Children are too young. They're so intoxicated with energy. Like a man who's intoxicated is not responsible for what he does. A man is intoxicated on narcotics, alcohol, he's not responsible. Children are blind in their youth. How many errors, how many thoughtless, inconsiderate things a youth will do? He'll repent, he'll say he won't do it again, you beat him, he does it over and over. It's not the fault of the child, it's just the intoxication at that time of life. So mainly, a little infant, I would tell the parents, mainly the most important thing to do is to help him find out his life purpose. Everything God made has a purpose. Trees have a purpose. The moon has a purpose. Sun has a purpose. Horses, buses, cows, everything God made has a purpose. And most surely we have a purpose. And in childhood, about 12 years old, we all should know a life purpose and start working on it. Because say if a man's 30, he's only about 5 years old. If he had up all the hours he slept for 30 years, he probably slept 5 years of his life. Had up all his time in school from 1st to 12th grade, 8 hours a day, probably 6 years in the classroom. All the traveling, all the parties, entertainment. So by the time man has got children, by the time he's got the bills paid for, his home halfway secure, he's pushing 65. So it's important that we find out our life purpose of childhood, start working on it, because time goes by too quick.
The whole future, as I see it, is in children's hands. And this song is about little children.
Right.
What do you see in the future? What's like, right now there's all kinds of problems in the world and we're trying to sort them out. What do you see in the future? Do you think the children are going to
the
bring it around
children
for
could
us?
bring things around much better if they take our mistakes and progress by them and change. But I can predict boxing matches and other things, but I can't predict the future of the world.
You got good hope for the future?
I'm not that great. But I think the children are going to have to be the ones that change the world. The younger whites today, the younger blacks, don't know about the history and what happened in this country, for example, with older people, and they're just taking each other face value for who they are. They're not looking at each other for the color. They're thinking a lot different. So it's going to be another generation too before a lot of our problems are solved, and it's going to have to start natural with the children.
See, this song isn't just about little children, but it's about the little child that's in each one of us. And it's beautiful the way you say that after all the sleep and after all the school and everything, we still have that child in each one of us. And that's what this is about. This is called Lovely Bubbles.
Lovely bubbles and things that sparkle and orange peaches and lengthy speeches, and I don't think I can remember anymore. Little child, I think that I love you. Little child, I think that I care, yeah. Little child, I think that I love you. child, I think that I can link the beaches where we used to play, and sand castles we used to build all day, till a big wave came and washed them all away. But like everything, it's here for today. Little child, I think that I love you. Little child, I think that I care, yeah. Little child, I think that I love you. Little child, I think that I can, climbing trees and looking down at all the people on the ground. When you were sad, you wore a frown, but a smile was always quick to come around. Another dream, if that one failed, find a turtle or a snail, bring him home in your pail, feed him crumbs and apple peel. Little child, I think that I love you. Little child, I think that I care, yeah. Little child, I think that I love you. Little child, I think that I care, in there and everywhere, in there and everywhere. All right.
Man, that's out of sight. You're going to be the greatest of all times. I'm going to see to that.
That's beautiful.
After me.
After you. Can't very well do it before you because
Man,
you've
that was
already done it.
beautiful. And
haven't
who
you?
wrote that?
I did.
Did you write that?
Yeah, well, it's a gift.
You're not as dumb as you look. No, did you really write that?
Yeah, I wrote that.
And
yeah.
the music too?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Man, you great. You greater than
So I try to explain to people it's a gift,
just
it's something
singing,
I can
that's
do,
enough.
you know?
Just singing, that's enough. But you wrote it, the music and the words?
Yeah.
Man, since I saw you last, have you written anything else?
Yeah, I've written a few things since.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm waiting for you to invite me over and I can play them all for you.
You good.
I'm just sorry we can't get together like this more often,
Like Columbus, I discovered you.
You know, there's no question in that.
How I didn't discover you? Let me tell you something. The Columbus didn't discover America. How did you discover America when the Indians already here?
You know, that's true.
How it look for me to walk on your house and say, hey, I discovered you.
Oh, but you
in your own house.
You did give me a chance to let people hear my music, though. And that's what, you know, I've been playing for years.
That's what friendship is. Friendship is one who looks for nothing in return. And I look for nothing in return yet. Well, as we know, everything comes to an end. As much as we hate to go, this show must come to an end. We hope you enjoyed the show. We enjoyed entertaining for you. And by popular demand, we will be back. So write your various networks and say if you liked it or not. And if you did, we will be back very soon because I always return.